I didn't realize how good this kid was. He's phenomenal. I really couldn't find much to critique. A few things here and there, but we're all human. So I kind of want to just jump right into it here. First, we're going to be going over his sidearm shot, and then we're going to be going over his quick release, and then after that, we got one shot on the run to look over real quick. But what I really want you guys to understand when you're watching this is how he's able to make decisions. All right? Most people have habits, and I'm sure he's got some habits going on, but the beauty of his game is actually how simple it is. He gets a shot off so quickly. Everything seems easy to him, really because he has very little motion in his shot. Now, I know a lot of guys might say like, well, he's got this big overhand shot, which is true, but I'm talking about excessive motion. Everything he does is for a purpose, all right? So let's jump right into it. I want you guys to pay attention how Ryan Brown is actually stepping into this shot. Now, as I said with Sergio, sometimes his step was a little too long, right? And with this shot right here, you're going to see he's actually taking a perfect size step, a human size step, not overstepping like a lot of people say. So right here, bam. His foot is lined up with his hip beautifully. This allows him to continue forward, okay? Now, I'm not one who says that you can't have a unique shot. Of course you can have a unique shot. You can have a unique delivery. That's exactly what we all want, all right? But you have to remember that all humans are designed to move exactly the same way. You know, I get a lot of comments like, oh, that's just the way he shoots, or he intentionally did that. You can tell when someone intentionally does something or when they don't. And here with Ryan Brown, there's a lot of intention, all right? And when you have intention, that means you have the knowledge to know what you're doing, and you can actually make the move that you want to make, adjust your hands the way you want to adjust them, and follow through and put the ball where you want. All right. So here, foot under hip, he's falling forward. This is beautiful. All right. Now, as we slow down and go through it, watch his hands as they're out. His whole body is driving forward. That's exactly what we want out of a shooter, okay? And this is a pure sidearm shot. That's what's so great about this. This shot, the stick started here, came around, and it ended up almost right back to where it started, all right? That means it's on the same plane the entire way, which is what you want when you're shooting, all right? There's less movement there. Okay, remember, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and that's what we got out of this shot. All right, comes through. Same with this one. I mean, this is phenomenal right here. Back it up. I mean, right here, this is what I call a quarter arm shot. All right, there are 4 types of shots, at least in my book. All right, there's underhand, there's quarter arm, there's sidearm, there's 3/4 arm, and there's overhand. Sorry, 5. 5 shots. In this shot right here, Brown, again, he uses his body the way it's designed to move, all right? He takes a small step, and he falls forward. His hips come forward as well. Watch this. Slows down. Look at that drive. His hands are out exactly the way we want it, and he just lifts that thing. Pops it. It's unbelievable. Look at his body. Everything's going forward. He ends up standing straight up. The thing I love about this shot is this is off of a catch. And actually all of his overhand shots are very similar, at least in this editing that I'm doing right here. And the reason why is because most athletes, when you watch them shoot, they have to have a cradle. They have a habit of either hitching their hands or doing something funny before they shoot, right? They have a telltale. Okay, Brown has no telltales when he shoots. He can either wind up and cradle and let it rip, or he can just catch it. It's almost like a quick stick, but from the outside. And what we do to train our athletes like that is we actually have them hold that top position with their hands up for around 10 minutes out of whack. And that is difficult to do, but if you master that, your nervous system actually gets used to being in that position. And we're going to actually do a little training video on that later down the road. So here, right off the catch, you'll notice there's no cradle. He just brings his hands back and he follows through right off of this. Boom. He's already in his shooting motion. Okay, no habits. The only thing I would critique here is this. Right here, he's bending to the left with his hip, and it's causing him to drop his shoulder a little bit. This isn't, the end all be all. It's not the end of the world, but it is something that if you were just standing a little, if you didn't have that lean and he was standing a little straighter up, I think he'd get a little bit more on a shot. But regardless, he puts the ball in. Oh, one more thing. I would just get those hands up a little bit. Okay? But the reason why he's able to get away with not putting his hands so far away from his body on this particular shot is because his turnover is unbelievable. And when I say turnover, I mean his push and pull portion of his shot. You can get away a lot if you do one or two things extremely, extremely well. They call it the 80-20 principle. 20% of what you do produces 80% of your results, and 80% of what you do produces 20% of your results. Pareto's law, all right? So you want to focus on the 20% that produce 80% of your results. So some things are actually more important than others. So for me, good turnover, good snapping is one of the most important things and something everyone should master. All right, we'll clear that. We'll play it through. Here again. Watch this. Brown is in the middle here, and he actually gets a really hard shot off just from a quick stick shot. Don't know who's feeding him here, but see that? As soon as he catches it, he's already in position. His hands are away from his body. He takes that step, and as we go into it, let me zoom in here a little bit for you. Right about there. A little fuzzy, but it'll work. As he falls forward, look at this. Everything is going forward into that shot, all right? Again, there's no habits there. This is a subconscious decision, okay? He makes decisions subconsciously. He does it through feeling, all right? There are times where he knows he needs to get a quick cradle in to let it rip, where he actually has time. And then there are situations where he just needs to get the shot off. And I think the reason why most people feel the need to have a big cradle before they let a hard shot go is because they have fear of the fact that they might lose some zip on the ball. Take a little something off of it, but redirect the ball in a more efficient manner. The goalie is going from pipe to pipe, so you can get him off guard. Versus if you take a long cradle, he's going to have time to set up and possibly make a save. All right, so Brown is unbelievably effective at this, and he's showing it here. And this one is ridiculous. The clip is so quick that I really can't get a good read on it, but you can see how quickly this shot comes off right off the pass. Okay, so I'll try to do it slow here. He's slowing. Okay, there we go. Right off the catch, he's already moving forward. Okay, now he's got a little lean with his shoulder, but again, remember the 80-20 principle. 20% of what you do produces 80% of your results. Mechanically, there might be a few things wrong with this shot, right? He's got a massive tilt. But so what? In this situation, he's getting a shot off so quickly, the goalie doesn't have time to react. And that is massive here. I mean, this is a great, it's basically a 3/4 arm shot, but the stick has actually gotten to a vertical position. This is the stuff that makes shooters great. What it is getting a shot off at a moment in time when a goalie is unprepared. So as we move forward, look at this. Everything again, he's falling forward into his shot. Every time he shoots, so far, his body has gone forward. He hasn't overstepped. And this shot for me is my favorite. Right here. Brown's coming down on the run, and you want to talk about painting the post? This is absurd. I mean, you can't get more squared up. Like, look at the hips, look at the shoulders. Everything's facing his target. The goalie knows he's about to shoot. Feet under hips, okay? Oop. Bam, bam. And he's standing pretty straight up, all right? And this allows him to come forward with a great overhand shot. As we roll forward, I mean, could the stick be any more vertical? This is unbelievable, right? Goalie knows it's an overhand shot. He sees it coming, yet he still can't stop it. What Brown does so well with this shot is he uses his hands independent of his body. His body is creating a lot of the power, and his hands are directing the ball. You don't want your body to direct the ball. You want your hands to direct the ball. And here, Brown does a great job of that with a ridiculous bounce shot. Everything is just straight on. It's mechanically perfect. All the way through. Shoulders are still square. We look here. Shoulders are square throughout. Chest is facing his target. Everything's golden. It doesn't get much better than this. Perfect bounce shot.